Hello and welcome to another tournament in review here on Skaredcast. I'm Skari. Today we're going to go to a 5-round event with my Drukhari with a list that you voted for. Let's dive in.
The Dark King.
Hello and welcome to another tournament in review where I'm taking the list you voted for to the Ontario League Invitational Finals, where the champion of this season will be crowned. All of you got to vote on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook to see what list I would take. Either my Void Raven Bomber list that won the GT last weekend, or a crazy list with HELLIONS and Razorwing Jet Fighters. Which one did you vote for? Well, of course, it was Razorwings and HELLIONS. You decided to vote for the crazy list. So if you are the first time watching, I will go over the list and the thought process behind the unit choices. Then we'll go to the event. We'll play 5 rounds. I'll explain kind of how each round went. And then we come back and break down the things that I learned about the list and things that I'll develop for next time. There you have it. Look, it looks fantastic. I love this list. It was so much fun. So let's break it down. I've been developing it for a couple of games now. I've got about 8 games under my belt. Let's take a look at it. So the list itself is a Sky Splinter Assault list. I've got an Archon who's my Warlord. I've got a secondary Archon as well, and Lilith Hesprax leading some witches. I do have a Beast Pack Master with the Beasts. Then I do have 1 unit of Cabalite Warriors with all the upgrades. Witch unit like you saw. I've got a Raider with a Dark Lance. 2 Venoms with double Splinter Cannon. 2 units of Scourge, 1 with 4 Haywires, 1 with 4 Lances. Then 2 Razorwing Jet Fighters with missiles, Dark Lances, and Splinter Cannons. I do have 20 HELLIONS in this list. 2 units of 5 HELLIONS, which look really cool. They're one of the coolest models in the Codex and in the line. And then 1 unit of 10 HELLIONS. 2 units of 5 Mandrakes to bring it down. And last but not least, a unit of Incubi and a Court of the Archon, bringing it up to 2,000 points. The thought process behind this list is the rise of infantry armies. Orc hordes, Tyrannid hordes, just a variety of things with lots of models, guard, that sort of stuff. So I wanted to make sure I had a list that could take down 20 orcs reliably every single turn. So I'm hoping that the Necrotoxin missiles on the Razorwing Jet Fighters, as well as the poisoned shots and 2 damage attacks from the HELLIONS, can really get cut through the feel no pain bricks of the orcs. And then, of course, the tried and true, we got Lilith with her witches that's very strong. The Beast Pack that really gives me some pre-game shenanigans. The Court with some fights first and some reliable shooting and combat with an Archon and a Raider. And then, of course, combined with some Scourge units for some anti-tank. And, of course, some Haywire in case I run into, like, the odd Land Raider or something. Now, I don't think this list is as strong as my Void Raven Bomber list. However, it is fun. The models look really cool. It's just things that you don't see very often, especially with HELLIONS. So I'm trying to prove that something can happen with this list, but also just playing with something fun and entertaining. So let's go to the tournament. 5 rounds. We'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Round number 1 with my crazy list that, of course, all of you voted for. Look at that. It's a fun, full house, really exciting times with everything going on. It's really entertaining. I took the HELLIONS, the Razorwing Jet Fighters, playing Lloyd and his Chaos. So it's Abaddon and Black Legion, veterans of the Longward detachment. It's playing Vital Ground. I did go first, and I was able to push once again. The Beast Pack just move blocking this whole corner going first. It's one of my favorite, just that swing up this way. Boop, creates a little wall. Very, very useful. I'm staging the rest of my army back here, ready to kind of jump up. Now, I don't have Void Raven Bombers. If I had the Bombers, I'd literally next turn come in and like nuke so much of the power armored stuff, but it's different with the Razorwings because they don't have that same killing power. But with that, let's go on to, wish me luck. Let's see how we do at the end of this game. Okay, so end of the first turn, I was able to kill Lloyd's Chaos Space Marines. I went first, that really helped, and then I essentially tabled him by the end of my 4th turn.
The Hellions, just this year, Hellion came in with a rapid ingress and then charged in and killed Warp Talons and failed to kill an Archon, so they weren't able to bounce back up into the sky, which was good. But I basically screened out the whole table because of the Warp Talons. At the end of the day, it was a good game for the Drukhari. The Razorwing Jet Fighters came in, shot one time, then instantly died. So we'll see how it goes. This is a test. This is only like game 3 or 4 with this concept of a list, so I'm very curious. Of course, when we get back to the studio, we're going to break down the list, what I learned, little things that I would change. I did split one unit of 10 Hellions that was originally 1 of 10 into 2 of 5s. So far, it's okay having the big hammer unit, so we'll see. We'll see moving forward. Look at that, round number 2. I could play Nick and his amazingly painted, converted Chaos Sea Astra Militarum. It's 30 Rough Riders, 12 Bullgrin, a couple of batteries, and then some like support stuff. Very, very interesting dynamic, which is awesome. I'm really looking forward to this as well. So that'll be a super fun time, and let's see what we can do after turn number 1. Okay, so end of the round. I know Tyler was yelling, so that's okay. I literally interrupted him by filming. Rounds up. Anyway, Nick and I had a good game. It was a victory for the Drukhari. Very, very tight, close game. Came down to that Raider basically surviving on a wound, which pinned a big unit of Rough Riders in the back, unable to come into my little baseline that was going to get all the points. So I got 30 points on the back end of the turn, and I was able to bring him down to a 0 on primary. One crucial turn, and that's it. So Drukhari, one Razorwing lived, and I still have Hellions on the table. That's a win for me. Hellions, because they're Hellions. Actually, the big pack of Hellions was not bad. They moved in, literally killed a couple of Bullgrin with shooting, and then did nothing. And then they died. They did contest an objective for 1 turn, and then this little man, Colonel Iron Hand Strachan, ran around and literally picked up almost the whole squad by himself. He is a little brick shithouse. I love it. Awesome. So with that, on to round number 3. Okay, quick little update. I did end up playing Necrons against Nick, and that was a very fun game. I ended up winning that game. So that was not bad. It is on stream. The whole event was streamed on Twitch. So that was the last game of day 2. It was Purge the Foe, which is very interesting against Necrons, but you can watch me play the list on the top-down camera. I'll put the link in the description so you can go see that. Then I just played another game. Sorry, because I've been so rush, I haven't done these videos, but I played into Custodes. It was taken hold on Search and Destroy. The Custodes went first, and then positionally it was a back and forth game. Because I had the end of the game, I was able to, on the last turn, get a good amount of primaries, and was able to kill, keep things in locations that were important to kind of keep me in the game, and I ended up winning that as well. So with that, we're on to the 5th round of the event. One more round to go. Let's see if the Little Hellion Razorwing list, or Razor Little Hell list can do stuff. So we'll see. Wish me luck. And end of the game, 88 points to the Dark Eldar to 69 points to the Eldar. That was a very close game. You can watch it. There's another stream game, so you can head on over and check it out.
And we're back after 5 rounds of Warhammer 40,000. Yes, that is correct. I did end up winning the event with Hellions, with a list I like to call Raise or Little Hell, because it's Razorwings and Hellions. And I won this awesome trophy. It's a chainsword. There you go, Ontario League champion. And of course, my name gets put up on here. It's the 3rd time that the league has been happening. Of course, you don't want to give Skari a chainsword because you never know what's going to happen. And it is the ultimate weapon against the Dark Eldar. More chainswords than bow pistols, they say. So let's take a look at the list, and I'll give you some thoughts of what I learned playing wacky Hellions. So let's break it down. Lilith and Witches, double Archons, the Court, the Cabalites, the Incubi, the Beast Pack, the Chronos, the Venoms, the Raider, the Scourge, and the Mandrakes. So all of this is fantastic and doesn't leave. That's just good every time, no matter what you do with it. The only stuff that you would want to mix around is the Razorwing Jet Fighters and the Hellions themselves. I love Hellions. They are so fun. They are objectively bad right now. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some changes or point updates or something that might make them relevant. When Dark Eldar get a codex, they might, have a detachment that they can kind of rely on. But as it stands right now, they're overpriced. They don't really move around very well on the board because they can't go through walls. They're, you know, objectively good into some things like elves or, you know, infantry. Funnily enough, the reason I took them was just to play into horde orcs. Didn't have to play into a single horde of anything really, which meant that I wasn't really able to test it into the things I wanted to test it. As for the Razorwing jet fighters, they are just worse than Void Raven bombers. They're cheaper, right? The missiles are kind of cool. I did like them, but they're just like a little too expensive for what you get, and they die so quickly. Toughness 8 with 10 wounds does not a durable unit make. So what would I change for this list if I wanted to continue with the concept? Well, to be honest, nothing for now. I need to make sure that I test the list into the thing I designed it for in the first place, which is Horde Orcs. So after I've played into Horde Orcs, I'll have more of an understanding of what I want to do. Now, if you like the Hellions, though, and say maybe the Razorwings, but if you like the Hellions specifically, so there would be a couple of changes I would like to make. Number one, you get rid of the Razorwing jet fighters, sadly, but sure, just because, sadly, they're just so bad. And I would keep some Hellions because I like the look and the aesthetic of the Hellions, but dropping 10 of them. So in their place, what would I add? I would add 1 Void Raven Bomber. I would add 2 Void Raven Bombers. That leaves you with 80 points, which I would actually put in a second Raider. I found that I needed another transport in this list, and another Raider would give me some flexibility, either to run Lilith as a big 10 strong brick, especially if I want to play into hordes. I can have like a big unit of witches, or allows me to put the Incubi into, say, a Venom when I do that, and allows them to kind of rock and roll in a transport, where a lot of the times the Incubi were on foot for the entire tournament. And there you have it. That would be my revamped 2,000 point list, and I would keep the Hellions. Either 2 units of 5, or you could combine them into 1 unit of 10, depending on what you wanted to do. So let me know with a comment down below which version you'd like better. Would you like to, keep a Razorwing jet fighter in the place of a Void Raven bomber? What changes would you make? And let me know with a comment down below. And that's that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Of course, I'll be back with another tournament in review. I think the next big event I'm going to is the Ottawa Team Championships with the Stutter Scrud team. I'm going to be taking my Void Raven bomber list there. It's going to be 8-person teams, and I am super excited to show off what the list can do even more in a team-based environment. Huge shout out to the channel Patreons, without whom none of this is possible. So if you'd like to support the channel, the best way is on Patreon. The link is in the description below. We have a bonus Discord. We do computer game nights every single week. We do a TTS league. We have a Crusade league going on as well. And you get to tap into an awesome, positive community of denizens of the Dark City, which give you hobby advice, rules advice, a variety of cool stuff. The Discord is buzzing. I hope to see you over there. A huge shout out to all of you. I've been Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out. The Dark Kid. Bye, everybody.